Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to day 3 for science. For today's lesson, you're going to need to turn your reader to chapter 3. And today we're going to really focus on what plants need in order to grow and thrive. All right, let's get started. Objective. I can explain where plants get the matter and materials they need to grow and thrive. All right, so our agenda today is to read chapter 3. I'm going to show you your packet work and how to fill it out. And I want you to send me a picture of your work for a Grow Routine Point. And also, please check out any other videos you have not completed, such as Math and ELA. Chapter 3, What Plants Need. The big question today is, where do plants get the materials they need for growth? Imagine that you measure the weight of a seed. Then you measure the weight of a pot with soil in it. You put the seed in the pot and wait for it to grow. Every day for a month, you water the plant. You measure the weight of the water too. Imagine how the plant will change. Finally, you remove the plant from the pot and weigh it, and it has gained 1 pound. But the weight of the pot in the soil has hardly changed. How did the plant gain so much material if it did not consume the soil? A scientist named Jan van Helmont wondered the same thing. Let's find out what happened. Plants need sunlight. You have likely never seen grass thickly carpeting a forest floor. Though some plants can survive in shadier places, all plants need sunlight to live. This is why plants do not grow under rocks and why many plants would struggle to survive in heavy shade beneath the trees. Plants use sunlight to make glucose, their food. Sunlight is not a food ingredient. However, it is the energy source plants use to start the chemical reaction to make glucose. Recall that during the process of photosynthesis, plants use water and carbon dioxide to make glucose and oxygen. If a plant does not absorb enough sunlight, it cannot complete the chemical process to make sugar. With too little sugar, the plant does not grow well. If you look below, there's a picture. This is a square of a cardboard box that was placed over grass, and it was left at this shape. The grass was shaded from the sun, and it's not as healthy as the surrounding grass. This is because the part where the box was covering the grass, they were not able to get sunlight and therefore was unable to go through the process of photosynthesis. And this is why you see a difference between the center of the grass looking kind of sickly to the outside of the grass, which looks very lush and green. So getting sunlight. Most people think of plants as motionless, but plants do subtly move on their own. Plants must have sunlight to survive, so they can change positions to help them absorb the most sunlight possible. You may have seen a plant near a window bending toward the sun. The cells on the side of the stem that are not getting sunlight stretch out. This makes the plant stem bend so that more of the plant's leaves are positioned in direct sunlight. A few types of plants that live in water do not have stems. Instead, they grow large leaves that float on top of the water. Keeping their leaves above the surface of the water helps them to gather as much sunlight as they can. So let's look at this picture and think, what will happen if this plant's pot is rotated so that the stems are leaning away from the window? What do you think might happen? Do you think you might see a change in the way the plant is facing? Do you think the plant will move? Let's continue. Plants need water. How do plants take in water that they need to live? Most plants soak up water from soil with their roots. The roots of some plants can be close to the surface. This way they can soak up rainwater quickly in dry environments. Other roots grow deep into the earth. Tree roots have been found 400 feet or 122 meters below ground, inside of a cave. Roots grow as far as they can get water for the plant. Water absorbed by roots travels upwards into the stem. From the stem, it moves into the leaves. In the leaves, water is one of the materials for photosynthesis. So looking at this picture, you're going to notice that many of the tiny roots are branching off from the main root, and the roots are spreading out to find water in the soil. Plants also sometimes release water. On a sunny day, put a plastic bag over a plant. Before long, tiny water droplets will collect in the bag. The process by which water vapor is released by plants is called transpiration. So above here, there's a picture of how you can try this experiment at home, and it actually shows transpiration occurring. Plants need air. Leaves have many tiny microscopic holes. These holes open to let air in and out. Importantly, plants take in carbon dioxide through these small openings. They release oxygen too. Plants use the carbon dioxide to help them make food. Oxygen is one result of the process. When animals breathe in air, they use the oxygen. They breathe out carbon dioxide as waste. When plants let air into their leaves, they use the carbon dioxide, and they release oxygen as waste. So again, here's a microscopic pore in the plant, and you can kind of see how it's taking in the carbon dioxide to enable the plant to make food, and how they also let out oxygen. Investigating the weight of plants. Jan van Helmont, a Dutch scientist, did a famous plant investigation almost 400 years ago. He measured the weight of a plant and the weight of the soil it grew in. His experiments showed that the plant weighed a lot more after growing for several years, but that the weight of the soil remained the same. What did this mean? Well, plants do not increase in weight by taking in soil, he explained. That plants increase in weight from the matter they take in from the air. So, do plants need soil? Plants do not need soil to live. They use nutrients from the soil that dissolves in water, but they do not absorb the soil. Some farmers grow plants without soil. This is called hydroponics. The word hydro means water. In this kind of farming, plants grow with only sunlight and water with added nutrients. And below you can kind of see a picture of what hydroponics looks like. That's pretty cool. Lastly, plants are important to all life on Earth. Plants are the basis for all animals' food. Think about the plants you have used today. If you ate fruits or vegetables, you use plants. Every food you eat either comes from a plant or from something that ate plants. Plants provide materials. A desk is made of wood. So are your paper and pencils. You might be even wearing plants. Cotton is a type of plant that many clothes are made of. And there's a picture of what a cotton plant looks like. What properties can you observe that they make cotton a good plant for clothing? So what do you think? Can you see any physical properties that would make cotton great for making clothes? Plants also provide oxygen. Plants release oxygen as waste. Almost every other living thing on Earth needs oxygen to live. Plants on land release oxygen into the air. Plants that grow in water release oxygen into the water. Fish take in the oxygen through their gills. They too rely on oxygen to live. So if you look closely at the bottom picture, you can see that there are tiny little bubbles on the water plant. And these bubbles are oxygen that is being released by the plant. All right, so our packet work for today. So today you're going to be completing activity page 3.1. This is called the photosynthesis model. Directions. It says to draw a model of photosynthesis. Show the source of the energy the plant uses, as well as where in the plant the process takes place. Label what besides energy the plant uses and what it releases once the process is completed. So definitely following those very specific directions. Also make sure in your picture to show how oxygen is being released in the plant, how the plant gets carbon dioxide, and how the plant makes food by using sunlight. Also make sure to include arrows to show movement and energy transferring to different areas of the plant, and also captions to explain what's happening. All right, scholars, so once you have that work complete, please do not forget to send me a picture of your work for Aurora Team Points, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. I'll see you again later. Bye.